and you can introduce yourselves. This is a couple that I met. I'm doing an interview with, and they're a sweet couple. I really like them, and I'm just trying to be their voice at the same time they're being my voice for my channel, and allowing other people to understand that you can't treat a person bad just because of their circumstance.
Right.
So here is
Patsy. I was born in Lawton, Oklahoma. Lived there until I was 35, and we moved to Dallas, Texas. Raised our 2 girls in Dallas. After we got married, this is our 2nd marriage in peace. We came out here on February the 7th. We got here in 2016 because my children treat me terrible, and my father being overbearing. We thought this would give us a clean break on life and a nice retirement. That we had no idea what we were walking into. Because people treat us really bad out here. And when you see somebody, looks don't show you what that person is inside. I may look like trashy, but like his uncle was really rich, and he wore jeans with tucked in his boots and a shirt hanging out, you know. What you see is not what you should perceive. You should know that person first before you judge them. You do not judge people, you teach them as you would like to be treated, as God says, you know.
So, how was your childhood?
It was good, but it was rough. You know, my dad's very demanding. He wants what he wants. He wants it now. If you got an idea, it don't matter. It's how he wants it done. You know, it doesn't matter if it takes you 10 times more. It's the way you're going to do it. And
did you experience any abuse as a child?
Just yelling and screaming, and when he would spank you, he would beat you really hard. But he didn't spank me that many times. It's just his tone of voice can get me. Someone yells really loud now, and I'll stop like an instant, you know. It really affects
Defense
me.
mechanism.
Yeah, it really gets me, and I try not to do that, you know.
Yeah.
Because I've not been with him. We've been married for 35 years. It still falls back.
You've been married to Paul for 35 years.
To the 8 days.
Yeah, I knew him 8 days, and I said, "Will you marry me?"
Yeah.
Next day we go down to Texas, and we get married, and we come back, and nobody knows we're married for a month.
Wow.
Until my dad put me on the floor, so I pinching my face to pinch my pimples. And he went, "Woo, a skyrocket. That's my wife, not your daughter anymore."
Her name's not Woods. You don't build something out of it, and you'll make paper out of wood wipe your ass.
He's like, I call him my knight in shining armor. Rescue me from the wicked witch and king, you know.
So, how long have you guys been without a home?
Since we came out here.
Off
and on. We tried living with, like we said out there, Amber said, with that man who was a teacher, but he had so much uproar, couldn't handle it. And then we tried another lady here in Atwater, and she threatened to kill me.
But
I believed her too. I think she really would have done it. She wanted to see me dead on the side of the street, she said. We haven't been in a house now for a year and a half. Since then.
So is that because of income issues,
No,
or?
I was over a $10 mob. Something about a mob that she said I was going to steal from her. I wouldn't steal shit from anybody. I've never stolen a thing, and I don't lie to people. I can guarantee you I don't lie, and I don't steal. If somebody's met this guy in Merced that likes to boost things, you know, and he went to Walmart with me. I said, "Man, if you're going to do it, don't do it around me, because if they ask me, I'm going to tell him the truth. They're going to know you did it." I can't lie. I just can't do it.
Is it scary out here for homeless people?
It's scary. It's getting worse. I can see the progression of getting worse from when we first got here till now. There's so much
If you
worse.
associate with them, it's more dangerous than if you don't.
Yeah, you have to associate with
We have a
them
lot of respect.
to really
We have a lot of respect
to get along
from the
and
people
get
out here,
by, you know?
especially some of the gang members.
I hear from a lot of people. There's a lot of homicides and a lot of people attacking women at night.
In the last year.
That's why you don't see her leave here, Brian. That's why she stays here most of the time.
And when he broke his leg, I was out by myself a lot, you know, and I carried a knife in my pocket and in my belt. and I will pull it on you, and I know how to
That's
use it.
good, mate. But the Soul Brothers Motorcycle Club protects Patty and so a lot of gang members. We have a lot of respect. They call it the older couple. We've helped a lot of them. We've
That's
fed a
also
lot of
been
them.
bad for us too, that we've been an older couple, because
Yeah, it
people
has
try
been.
to take advantage
They
of
try to
us.
take
You know?
advantage of it.
Hey, Paul, where are you from?
I'm from Lawton, Oklahoma. I was born in the same town. I'm an only child. My dad died when I was 22 years old from heart attack. He was sick all my life.
His first heart attack at 6.
Yeah, my first heart attack was 6 when I was living myself. I just went to 7 o'clock surgery.
So how was your childhood growing up?
My childhood was good as far as my parents were good parents. My mom, she was very rural, she was abusive, but my parents were good parents. I had a good home life. I never wanted for anything. My mom and dad allowed me to grow up. My dad was especially a good person. He was born in 1922. The tail gunner would be 17. And my dad had a way of understanding. I have a very high IQ, but I make a lot of simple mistakes with little things. And he had a way of talking to me and understanding me. And he was always willing to talk. My dad never raised his voice to me, except one time. And I was wrong. And he called me a damn stupid kid. And Brian, the day he died, all I could say to him that he walked in and said, I'm not going home. I always told you when I'm tired. I said, Dad, I'm sorry. I couldn't fight the fight. But one time he called me a damn stupid kid. Dad, I'm kidding you. I'm still damn stupid, but I'm working. You know, he just loses temper.
He has a very high IQ, and his mom expected him to be very
At 13.
successful. You know?
Paul, how high is your IQ?
About 180.
Like
It's high enough that I have identity memory. The complicated things are real easy for me, but simple things are very hard.
There's no gray
Material
area.
things, material things don't mean anything to me. Patty had to understand. When we got married, I told her I have no emotion. I don't deal in emotion. I deal on the level I see before and after. And so you're going to have to be your own person. You're going to have to understand you have a right to say what you're going to say. And I have a pretty good patience with working with her, but I also have a tendency to dig holes for myself so I can get out. and she has to compensate for me. And I'm willing to understand the things I do. I've never been in trouble. I was in the Navy for a long time. And but I have my own way of thinking. I don't see things the way other people see them. Religion's a funny thing to me. That's 126 books that shrunk to 51. And Enoch, I know things that I probably shouldn't know, and I don't push it on. So I try to teach my what she wants to know. But I told her one time, I said, like your dad, my name's been around since 1299 AD. I speak 5 languages fluently. German's my preferred language, and I try to speak German pretty well now. But at 5 years old, I tried to kill my mom with an exploding egg. I watched Bill Nye the Science Guy. I put turned gasoline in eggs sealed with wax. Put the trigger. I knew exactly from left to right where she was going to get it. But we changed that thing blew up the stove. I didn't think there's still a black mark. But and my dad finally, he would just look at me. Let me study, boy, and stare at me. And he was really good at this thing. He had to stop this stuff. And but I have a way of digging holes for myself. But I have a 3.75 grade for that. I have a degree in college, my psychology degree, and a specific study. But I made $30,000 a year working as an electrician. Patty made $100,000+ a year working for a doctor. I raised the girls.
Whether you have a college education or not doesn't make a difference. It doesn't have anything to do with it. I had no college education, but I made more money than he did.
I raised the girls
all
because she didn't want the girls to be raised the way she was.
Worked first moves, you know.
So you telling me people go to college for all those years and they can come home and be homeless?
Yes, they can. I have a psychology. I have a 4-year bachelor's degree.
He's got all that
with a
college.
3.95 grade.
He had a hard time having a job.
And because I worked as an electrician in Dallas,
the medical force was the place to be, and I just happened to be in the right place.
She made over $100,000 a year.
I hit Dallas, and I was just gun ho, you know.
I raised the girls because we had a couple of girls. Our daughter ran away. See, I was raised. My dad raised. I was raised in multiracial time. My dad raised multiracial people. I don't see race, and Patty's dad did. And I don't like racial words. I have a brother, I have 2 brothers. My Mexican brother died 2 years ago of throat cancer. my black brother still is here. He was the first one to call Patty during that night. Michael called Patty.
He didn't have any wife for his own name.
Well, I was raised in the wrong neighborhood, maybe so. But Michael was always there for me, and I like to say I trust the funny thing with me. I don't associate with people out here because I see a lack of discipline, and that they'll go to go back to things. I have my vices, like certain things, like there's things that I do that probably other people wouldn't.
So being the age that you guys are at,
scary, Brian.
is health wise?
I have been
It's
terrible.
scary, you know, because I'm 63, he's 60, and I'm thinking, my dad died at 84, and I'm thinking,
My dad died
I'm
at
gonna die out
59.
here in this stinking tent, you know. I want a home to live in, something I can die in a bed.
I have two
and I
other
don't have to
sisters
worry
here.
about it. I've got teeth I need to fix, but I can't go anywhere.
We
without-
can't leave.
Someone has to stay here all the time, or it walks off. You know, you can't trust anybody.
They're still we
So-
bikes that stolen.
Does that become a problem when you want to go out and look for
We can't
jobs,
work.
or
Right.
when you
We
want to
can't
go
work.
do
we came
things?
with shock together.
No, we can't work because of our disability. You
Yeah,
can't
we
make
can't
more
make
than
any more money than we
$600 a month a year because of disability.
they'll take it.
And we both are on disability. We make about $2,400 take home a month.
He has two replaced hips. He technically should
I
not
have
be
a
able to ride
13-inch
that
rod in
bicycle.
my left
when he
leg.
does.
In November, I got hit by a car in the crosswalk. I knocked me 18 feet. It broke my leg in two places down here, on my right leg.
They said he was lucky he was even
And I
alive.
broke which was hit by
So, can you guys explain your tent? Because I've been in a couple tents, but none like
I
this.
don't
Well,
have to live
we don't
None like
they
this.
We don't
want
have
me
to
to
compromise,
because I'm
man.
homeless. If I have money, I can have a generator. I can have electricity. It might be limited, but I can have it.
We have
you
a
know?
DVD player.
And when I tell you they hooked it up, I
And
mean
I
they
got an
hooked it
air
up.
conditioner,
We do
too,
little
if you
This
can
tent
have
has personality. This tent has personality. I'll tell you
My
that.
bicycle and my trailer got stolen when he got hurt. That was a really
got a
low
brand
life
new one
person to
back
steal
there.
from a person who's struggling to keep her husband up, you know, and they take my bike.
And we recycle every day,
We
Brian.
replaced everything.
because we eat every day. She has diabetes, and we take no medicine. I make sure I control her.
So how is that being a diabetic and being homeless?
It's very hard,
I
but
control it with
he can
diet.
control it with my diet.
That's the IQ. I'm able to control her
And
diabetes.
I don't eat a lot of sweets.
Well, it's like
I
put
drink
on-
a lot of soda. I'm a soda-holic, but
No.
I don't eat that much sweets, so it sort of balances
So for
out.
lunch we had tacos and cheese, and about Connie's dog. Tonight we had pork chops. And I don't cook a lot of oil. It's how you discipline the diet.
It's your discipline,
Yeah,
you know.
I choose on.
And someone told us one time, y'all are awfully disciplined people. I
It's
never
not
really
easy
realized
though.
it. You know?
It's not easy though.
Okay.
Discipline's not easy. That's my dad, Brian. My dad used to say, yesterday's gone, son. Live in it. Learn from it. Don't live in it.
And there are people
Tomorrow's
that
not
know
promised.
us that we
Plan
have
for
no
it.
idea who they are.
No, plan for it, but don't be promised from it. Today's here. Be righteous to yourself. That's all you can do. Don't compromise. There are rules, but only rules are for people that have to have them. You don't have to go by everybody's rules. Just treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't lie. Keep your word. All you had is your word. You're no better, no smarter, no tougher. You're weaker, dumber, poorer, and less if you just don't treat people right. Keep your word to people. Don't lie. If you can't,
Looks
explain.
very deceiving.
And it's hard to be that way. I told family, get ready. Truth's all I got for you. I'm not a very simple person. It's not hard. But I'm also a very complex person. I run the race. If I can do what I want to do, I have my vices. I don't drink. I mean what you drunk. I haven't drank since 96.
We haven't drank since I was
We got a
30.
contest. We got a contest. Who can drink tequila and beer? Nine shots of beer.
9 shots, double shots, and 9 beers later, we come out the door
A
going,
45-minute ride turned 5 hours.
Wow, wow.
yeah, you know, but I guess when I was talking to people about their bills and stuff with the doctors, I never looked at a person because they didn't have some fancy on or they didn't. That person's still this person inside, you know. It's what's inside right here.
And you can't put a
So you guys are. So what I'm getting is that you it's not the income. You just need the resource. You need a resource
chance.
to get you somebody to
Nobody's
give you your
ever-
chance.
They won't give us a chance, you
And
know.
we had a
Nobody's
policeman,
ever done it.
out here. We were
They'll
block
let you
park,
go
Charlie
right where you
phone.
came from.
And they told, why don't you go back where you came
But
from?
but you know what you know what I can say. I'm guilty of the same thing that everybody else is guilty
Everybody's
of.
dying the same way.
Image, right?
Yeah.
Image, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to go to a job interview with dirty pants or with a dirty shirt, right?
We love bathtub.
No offense, Paul, but what I'm saying is sometimes if you don't sit down with a person and do exactly what we're doing right now, you don't know. You don't know, and you don't have a feel for what they're going through. So now that I have a better feel for what you're going through, I already was introduced to Paul. Now I'm introduced to you. So now I have a better feel for what you're going through. Now I can better figure out a way to help you out. You understand? And my thing is, if I can get you in the studio, if I can get you, you guys have more than enough income to be in a place. You shouldn't, like I said, I don't want to, I think that this is the best tent that I've actually ever been into, camping or, just, this is very nice. This is, yes.
I'm going to make it my home.
This is our fourth tent. We buy a tent every 2 months because we don't.
Because I don't like a dirty tent.
We don't like a dirty tent. That's my adopted brother. My dad bought him at 3 years old. And my dad said, his daddy his dad and my dad were in service together. He said, I came home, I got off the ship. Mike's dad got off the ship, he had to go off last. He didn't get income. My dad told me.
My baby sister's in prison right now. She's 57 years old and gets put in prison for 7 years. Because my dad talked her into a con artist, he's a con artist. And he got her into trouble. And that's another reason I left town. I don't want to get caught up in some of their crap, they're always scheming on shit, and I can't handle it,
Yeah.
My dad had guns, and every chair we had a loaded gun in it, to the hilt.
Almost got her killed
and
one time.
My grandson picked up the gun at 18 months old and pointed at my daughter, and I stepped in front of him. I said, I would rather him shoot me than shoot his mama. She was behind me.
She got real
And I talked him down, and I got a hold of the gun and pulled it down like that. And I told her to get him out of here and don't ever bring him back. She didn't. And that just did something to me for him to almost shoot his mama, because he was playing Indians and Cowboys, He didn't know the difference. We were raised that way, so I knew not to pick up a gun like that. I knew it was loaded to the hilt. I told Dad a long time ago that would happen. Who's happened to? My grandson. My only grandson.
So if resources were provided for you guys, if I could actually get you guys in the studio,
pay the bills.
I can pay the bills.
That's the problem.
Do you guys have the proper paperwork? Do you guys have all your income, everything?
We have our
IDs, socials, things like that?
You don't have his ID.
I've got name of. I've had a driver's license since '99.
Okay.
But hadn't have trouble because my daughter took it away.
My daughter did. It's his daughter.
But I have an ID.
I adopted his daughter.
And we have our paperwork for Social Security.
Okay.
We have a post office box where we get our mail at, but we have our Social Security papers that we get how much income is every month. And
they won't pay us at the same time.
No, they won't pay every couple the same. I get paid on the 3rd. She gets paid the 2nd Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
What's my taking on that?
Well, it's probably more than this.
So in closing,
2002 I got 2021 we got a raise.
What would you like other people to know about the homeless?
The homeless.
There's a lot of people out here that don't care if they find a place or not. They like living like this. I don't. This is not my cup of tea. But I can survive, I'm a survivor.
That will come.
And he's taught me how to do that.
On time, on target. You'll never quit.
And we don't quit, because eventually
you
it'll turn our way.
It'll turn your way. You stay on time, you stay on target. People look at us like we're trash and we're not. But the cops in Merced always say, man, we see you guys all the time, and every time we see you, you look a little different. Because we never look bad. We try to look good. I keep these clothes clean. I did $67 with laundry this month.
We try to keep up the same level we had when we were living in a house.
We don't compromise.
We always owned our own houses.
We
never rented from anybody.
Well, the only thing we rented was that two-story condominium in Grapevine, and with
I wonder how we did it. $800 a month.
Fireplace upstairs with bedroom.
Insurance, and how did we do it? Because when our disability is so hard.
The last place we bought 2.5 acres, 4-bedroom house, 19
So, having the disabilities, not being able to work, and your income being fixed.
Yeah, you can't make more than what you
You
have
can't
right
make
now.
more than what you
What you
can.
They
can't
say
make-
you
Okay.
can make
What?
600, but if you make 600,
But-
I filed insurance. I know where Medicare inside and out.
But Pat, Brian
if
will tell
you
you,
show them you can make it, they'll.
I
quit
make
it
over
because they know you
300.
can
I make a
it.
lot of money
Okay.
recycling.
Was there
I-
the places that you checked out? Were there any issues as far as credit, double deposits,
I don't
things
have
like that?
good Credit,
we had
but,
the identity theft when I was in the hospital.
yeah, we've had it twice.
Yeah, we've had the identity theft
Once
twice.
out here and once in
Uh-huh.
Oklahoma right before we left town.
Somebody stole her
Okay.
cards, got her credit cards. and-
So if you guys had to play a double deposit, but be able to split it up,
I can
We'll
do
do
it.
it. We'll do it. That's
Do
no
it.
problem.
I do whatever. you
We'll do
know.
whatever.
Okay.
We'll
Okay,
make,
so-
we'll make it work.
this is Saturday, of course.
You know.
So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna take the paperwork that Paul's gonna give me. I want a copy of your IDs, copy of your socials, so we can get the ball on, so we can get the ball rolling. You know, because you guys shouldn't have to suffer through this. You have too many medical illnesses. Paul, you have too many illnesses. You guys need to get out of here.
I've already died once on it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I deserve it, but you know,
We-
I'm
we
62,
work for it.
and we've raised our
All we
family
want,
and our
Brian, is a
grandchildren,
chance to
and I
a
figured,
chance.
why not give us a chance? You know,
And we'll
because
prove
I
it.
can prove to you, man, I can do it.
If we don't uphold the weight, we don't deserve it. But we don't falter. We've never failed yet. In 35 years, we've never failed, and we've never had anybody to help us out.
Like
We've
I said,
always
there's
done
so
it
many
on our
people
own.
around here.
They
we're
don't
standing
care.
Here and even in Turlock and
Well-
stuff that know us, that we have no idea who they are, but they know who we are.
But
When
that's
I
an
got
awful
here, I
lot of
told Paul, I
people.
said, what are we going to call ourselves? Because everybody's got a nickname out here.
I'm
Some of these people I really don't
Kidnapper.
know my real
She's
name.
the kidnapper.
He calls me the kidnapper, and he's ugly.
No, I'm ugly.
And this is why I say never judge a book by its cover, because I just met two beautiful people. They're very intelligent. My IQ ain't even close to what theirs is, and I'm a property manager, so that lets you know that lets you know how the ball can bounce sometimes. It doesn't matter how much education you have. It don't matter what type of family you were raised
stupidest
in.
person in the world can teach you something.
Well,
You
everybody
don't
can
have
teach
to have an
something.
education.
I
Somebody,
told Patty
everybody can
that.
teach everybody.
Everybody can teach somebody
something.
something.
And on that note, I'm calling it good night.